잠시 후 1시 10분부터 2025학년도 대학 수학능력 시험 3교시 영어 영역 듣기평가 방송을 시작하겠습니다. 수험생 여러분은 편안한 마음으로 방송에 귀를 기울여 주시고 감독 선생님께서는 스피커의 음량을 알맞게 조절해 주십시오. 수험생 여러분은 답안을 작성하기 전에 반드시 답안지 왼쪽 해당란에 성명, 수험번호 등을 정확하게 기입하고 표기하였는지 확인하시기 바랍니다. 답란에 정답을 표기하기 전에 답안지에 있는 수험생 준수사항을 꼭 확인하십시오. 듣기평가 문제는 1번부터 17번까지입니다. 방송을 잘 듣고 문제지에 있는 5개의 답지 중에서 맞는 답 하나만 골라 답안지에 해당란에 바르게 표기하십시오. 듣기평가는 타종 없이 시작됩니다. 이제 문제지 표지를 넘기시기 바랍니다. 그러면 지금부터 3교시 영어 영역 듣기평가를 시작하겠습니다. 1번부터 17번까지는 듣고 답하는 문제입니다. 1번부터 15번까지는 한 번만 들려주고 16번부터 17번까지는 2번 들려줍니다. 방송을 잘 듣고 답을 하시기 바랍니다. 1번. 다음을 듣고 여자가 하는 말의 목적으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Good morning, students. This is your Vice Principal, Ms. Morris. I want to inform you that each class period will be reduced from 50 minutes to 40 minutes next Tuesday. Due to the parent-teacher conferences that will be held on that day, school will end 1 hour earlier than usual. You'll still take the same classes that you normally would on that day. The starting and ending bells will ring according to the reduced class time schedule. Once again, please keep in mind that next Tuesday's class periods will be shortened by 10 minutes each. Thank you.
(2번) 대화를 듣고 남자의 의견으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Honey, I was thinking about asking our daughter to sign up for drama camp this winter. What do you think?
Why do you want her to participate in drama camp?
I think drama camp is helpful for gaining diverse perspectives.
How will the camp help her with that?
In the camp, she'll play different types of characters. This can help her see things from others' perspectives.
That makes sense.
Also, she'll be expected to listen to other kids while collaborating with them.
Oh, that could help her broaden her views.
Right. So, participating in drama camp is helpful for obtaining various perspectives.
Okay, then let's suggest it to her.
(3번) 다음을 듣고 여자가 하는 말의 요지로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Hello, viewers. I'm Kate, and welcome back to my channel, Art Pier 25. Have you ever felt like you couldn't understand the artwork in a museum? If so, here's a simple tip for understanding artists' work better. Knowing about the artists can deepen your appreciation of their work. Art is often a reflection of their feelings and thoughts. Therefore, by exploring their lives and experiences, you can see what influenced their work. So, The next time you go to an art museum, why not explore the artists' backgrounds first? Once you know about the artists, you'll be able to have a better understanding of their work. I hope this helps.
(4번) 대화를 듣고 그림에서 대화의 내용과 일치하지 않는 것을 고르시오.
Hi, Sarah. What are you doing?
I'm looking at a picture that I took last weekend. Do you want to take a look?
Sure. I see a flea market sign hanging from the tree.
I was selling some of my old stuff at the flea market.
Oh, I like the crown-shaped balloon the girl is holding.
She's my daughter. Hey, do you remember that stripe pattern tent?
Of course. That's the one I gave you. Oh, there are 3 vases on the table.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to sell them.
I guess people weren't interested in them.
Yeah, people were more interested in the speaker on the chair, even though it wasn't for sale. I turned on music to attract customers.
I see. Looks like you had a busy weekend.
(5번) 대화를 듣고 남자가 할 일로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Hey Brian, the Playful Cat photo contest is only 2 days away.
That's right, Lisa. Many students are excited about our club's contest.
Yeah, let's check the preparations we've done so far.
All right. I checked our email and confirmed that all the participants had submitted their photos.
Great. I'll print them out tomorrow.
Okay. What about the bulletin board in the school lobby? We'll need it to post the photos on.
Don't worry, I already got permission to use it. Have you ordered stickers yet?
Yes, I ordered enough for everyone to use when voting for their favorite photos.
Good. What about the trophy for the winner?
It's at my house. I'll bring it tomorrow.
Thanks. I think we're all set.
(6번) 대화를 듣고 여자가 지불할 금액을 고르시오.
Welcome to Kamuk Traditional Village. How can I help you?
Hi. I'd like to buy admission tickets for my family. Is there a discount for senior citizens?
Yes. Regular tickets are $30 each, and senior tickets are $20 each for people over 65 years old.
Good. My parents are in their 70s, so I'll take 2 regular tickets and 2 senior tickets.
Great. Would you also like lunch tickets? We serve traditional local food. It's $25 per person.
I'd love that. Is the lunch ticket cheaper for senior citizens?
No, I'm sorry. It's the same price.
Okay. I'll buy 4 lunch tickets as well.
All right. So you want 2 regular tickets and 2 senior tickets with 4 lunch tickets, right?
That's right. Here's my credit card.
(7번) 대화를 듣고 남자가 스트림라인 브로드캐스팅 워크숍에 갈 수 없는 이유를 고르시오.
Hey John, come and look at this poster.
Hi, Sharon. The Streamline Broadcasting Workshop? What's that?
It's a student workshop that offers an opportunity to connect with experts in broadcasting. How about going together?
Oh, it's on Friday. I wish I could, but I can't.
Why not? Is your dance club's performance on that day?
No, the performance is next month.
Then is your little brother's birthday party on Friday?
No, it was last week. I got him a hat as a present.
So why can't you go to the workshop?
Actually, I'm going to see a baseball game on that day. I have tickets for that game.
Oh, I see. I hope your team wins.
(8번) 대화를 듣고 아웃스탠딩 옥토퍼시즈 행사에 관해 언급되지 않은 것을 고르시오.
Honey, did you hear that the local aquarium is holding an event called Outstanding Octopuses?
Outstanding octopuses? What's it for?
The purpose of the event is to promote World Octopus Day.
Sounds interesting. What programs does the event have?
There are several programs. They include exhibiting various octopuses from the Pacific Ocean and showing a documentary about how to protect them.
Really? Let me search for more information on my phone. Oh, it's sponsored by the Aqua Life Council.
I'm glad that they're helping people realize how remarkable these creatures are.
I agree. The event started on October 4th and will end on December 8th.
Good. We still have a lot of time to visit.
You're right. Let's make plans to go soon.
(9번) 2024 그랜드 버터플라이 서커스에 관한 다음 내용을 듣고 일치하지 않는 것을 고르시오.
Hello, listeners. Are you looking for something fun to do with your family? Well, we're pleased to announce that the 2024 Grand Butterfly Circus is coming to town. It'll run for 5 days from November 15th to 19th. The circus starts at 8 p.m. each night at City Square. It includes a spectacular magic show, high rope walking, and juggling. Admission tickets are $35 per person, and children under 2 years old are admitted for free. Tickets are available online as well as on-site. You can download a discount coupon on the circus website. If you want the best seats, please come early because there are no assigned seats. Join us for a breathtaking night of excitement for you and your family.
(10번) 다음 표를 보면서 대화를 듣고 여자가 구입할 식물 씨앗 키트를 고르시오.
Jason, what's that in your hand?
It's a flyer from the neighborhood flower shop, Mom.
Oh, they're selling plant seed kits. I want one. Can you help me choose?
Sure. I don't think you need the most expensive kit since it's your first try.
Right. But I'd like some variety. So at least 4 kinds of plants would be nice.
Okay. What about the pots? They come in different materials.
I don't want the ceramic one. It'll be too heavy for me.
Good point. I think the one that comes with a plant growing guide would be helpful for you.
Yes, I can easily find out how to grow plants.
Then this seed kit is perfect for you.
Thanks for helping me. I'll buy that one.
(11번) 대화를 듣고 남자의 마지막 말에 대한 여자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Jane, have you ordered a cake for our tennis coach's farewell party next week?
Yes, I ordered a walnut cake with pistachio nuts on top. I'll pick it up next Wednesday afternoon from the bakery.
Oh, no. I should have told you that he's allergic to all kinds of nuts.
십이 번 대화를 듣고 여자의 마지막 말에 대한 남자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Honey, the hotel offers a free yoga class on the beach to the guests. Do you want to go with me tomorrow morning?
Oh, really? I definitely want to try yoga, but I'm afraid we might be the only beginners.
Don't worry. This class is for true beginners who have never done yoga before. So why don't we take it?
십삼 번 대화를 듣고 남자의 마지막 말에 대한 여자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Hi, Rachel. What's up?
Hi, Kevin. Do you have any plans for next weekend?
No, I'm free. Why do you ask?
The city transportation office is hosting a bike auction at their parking lot. Do you want to check it out together?
Sounds like fun. Are they selling new bicycles?
No, they're selling used bikes. People have donated them for a good cause.
What's the cause?
I heard all the money they raise will be used to support youth sports clubs.
Oh, really? Then I'd like to contribute to the auction. Actually, I have a bike that I don't ride anymore.
That's great. Just make sure it's in a good enough condition to be sold.
Not to worry. It's only been used 2 or 3 times.
십사 번 대화를 듣고 여자의 마지막 말에 대한 남자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Hello, Dr. Wilson speaking.
Hello, this is Glenn Scott from the organizing committee of the National Science Talent Competition.
Hi, Mr. Scott. How can I help you?
I'm calling to see if you would be a judge for this year's competition.
Thanks. I'd be happy to take part in it again. When is the competition?
It starts on December 9th and continues for 3 days.
Oh, no. I have a meeting to attend on December 9th.
Is there any chance that you can change the date of your meeting? I really want to have you as a judge.
I'm afraid I can't answer that right now.
When can you let me know? I can wait a couple of days.
I'll let you know by the end of the day.
십오 번 다음 상황 설명을 듣고 소피아가 잭에게 할 말로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Sophia and Jack are sister and brother. They are going to their favorite singer's concert tonight. The concert starts at 7 p.m., and since it takes an hour to get to the concert, Jack proposes that they leave their house at 6 p.m. While this is Jack's first time going to a concert, Sophia has been to several concerts. She knows that even after they arrive at the concert site, it takes a long time to go through the security line and get to their seats. Also, she wants to take pictures and stop by the gift shops before the concert. So, Sophia wants to suggest to Jack that they should leave for the concert much earlier than he proposed. In this situation, What would Sophia most likely say to Jack?
(16번부터 17번까지는) 두 번 들려줍니다. 16번과 17번. 다음을 듣고 물음에 답하시오.
Hello, students. As you know, we may be facing serious food shortages down the road. So, today let's talk about foods that are appropriate for dealing with food shortages in the future. First, seaweed is cost-efficient because it doesn't take up land or need to be watered. It not only contains lots of minerals and vitamins, but also can be used to make diverse types of dishes. Second, beans are adapted to growing in a wide range of environments, from ocean shores to mountain slopes. Plus, they offer us a rich source of fiber and protein. Third, pumpkins grow large, and their leaves and flowers can be consumed as well. These precious parts are often thrown away, but they are a good source of nutrients and flavor. Finally, mushrooms grow all year round, and where many other foods would not. They are very affordable and rich in various nutrients. Now, let's watch a video demonstrating the value of these foods.
다시 한번 듣겠습니다.
Hello, students. As you know, we may be facing serious food shortages down the road. So, today let's talk about foods that are appropriate for dealing with food shortages in the future. First, seaweed is cost-efficient because it doesn't take up land or need to be watered. It not only contains lots of minerals and vitamins, but also can be used to make diverse types of dishes. Second, beans are adapted to growing in a wide range of environments, from ocean shores to mountain slopes. Plus, they offer us a rich source of fiber and protein. Third, pumpkins grow large, and their leaves and flowers can be consumed as well. These precious parts are often thrown away, but they are a good source of nutrients and flavor. Finally, mushrooms grow all year round, and where many other foods would not. They are very affordable and rich in various nutrients. Now, let's watch a video demonstrating the value of these foods.
16번. 여자가 하는 말의 주제로 가장 적절한 것은? (17번) 언급된 음식이 아닌 것은? 이제 듣기 문제가 끝났습니다. 18번부터는 문제지의 지시에 따라 답을 하시기 바랍니다.
27. Adenville City Pass Card. The Adenville City Pass Card is a public transportation card for tourists visiting Adenville, service range, Adenville-based subway lines, Adenville licensed buses. This card cannot be used for city tour buses. Card types. Price 1 day $10, 3 day $25, 5 day $40. Additional benefit, 10% off admission for major tourist attractions. Unused cards are refundable within 30 days of the purchase date. Purchase information. Physical cards can be purchased at subway stations. Mobile cards can be purchased on the A-Transit app. (28) Lockwood Snow Festival. We're happy to announce the 15th annual Lockwood Snow Festival. Come to the festival to enjoy winter activities. When and where? January 24th to 30th, 7 days, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Lockwood Park, special activities, snow sculpture contest, 11 teams will participate. Fun in the snow. Kids can enjoy snow tunnels and snow slides. Transportation. Parking is not available. Use public transportation and/or shuttle bus service. The shuttle bus runs between Lockwood Subway Station and Lockwood Park. One-way fare, $1, cash only. For more information, please visit www.lwsnow.org. 26. Dick Enberg was one of America's most beloved sports broadcasters. He was born in Michigan in 1935. In the early 1960s, he became an assistant professor at San Fernando Valley State College, where he also served as a coach of its baseball team. Afterwards, he began a full-time sportscasting career in Los Angeles. In 1973, he became the first U.S. sportscaster ever to visit China. He joined NBC Sports in 1975 and remained with the network for about 25 years, covering such big events as the Olympics. He later worked for other major sports broadcasting stations. He made his last live broadcast in 2016 and died the following year at the age of 82. He served as chairman of the American Sportscaster Association for more than 3 decades. Enberg was also a best-selling writer and won Emmy Awards as a sportscaster, a writer, and a producer. 25. The graph above shows the percentages of women employed behind the scenes on the top 100 U.S. films by role in 2020, 2021, and 2022. For each of the 3 years, the percentage of women employed as producers on the top 100 U.S. films was the highest as compared with the percentages of each of the other 3 roles. The percentage of women employed as directors on the top 100 U.S. films in 2021 was lower than in 2020 but higher than in 2022. The percentage of women employed as writers on the top 100 U.S. films increased by 4 percentage points from 2020 to 2021 and by 1 percentage point from 2021 to 2022. The percentage of women employed as editors on the top 100 U.S. films was less than 20% in each of the 3 years. In 2022, the percentage of women employed as producers on the top 100 U.S. films was the same as that in 2020. 18. Dear Rosedale City Marathon racers, we are really grateful to all of you who have signed up for the 10th Rosedale City Marathon that was scheduled for this coming Saturday at 10 a.m. Unfortunately, as you may already know, the weather forecast says that there is going to be a downpour throughout the race day. We truly hoped that the race would go smoothly. Race manager. However, it is likely that the heavy rain will make the roads too slippery and dangerous for the racers to run safely. As a result, we have decided to cancel the race. We hope you understand and we promise to hold another race in the near future. Sincerely, Martha Kingsley. 19. It was Valentine's Day on Friday and Peter was certain that his wife, Amy, was going to love his surprise. Peter had spent a long time searching online for an event that would be a new way to spend time with Amy. He had finally found the perfect thing for her. She often told him that she liked to go to places she had never visited before, and he was absolutely sure that she would love going to the new, 5-star restaurant downtown. He smiled as he called the restaurant and asked for a reservation for Friday. Unfortunately, his smile quickly disappeared when he was told that the restaurant was fully reserved. "That's too bad," he said quietly. "I thought that I had found the right place." 1. Relaxed indifferent. 2. Confident disappointed. 3. Confused satisfied. 4. Jealous discouraged. 5. Embarrassed joyful. 20. We almost universally accept that playing video games is at best a pleasant break from a student's learning and more often what prevents a student from accomplishing their goals. Games catch and hold attention in a way that few things can. And yet once they have our focus, they rarely seem to offer anything meaningful to help students grow in their lives outside the games. While this may be true for many games, we are too easily ignoring a valuable tool that could be used to enhance productivity instead of derailing it. Rather, it is desirable that we develop games that connect to the learning outcomes we want for our students. This will enable educators to take advantage of games' attention-commanding capacities and allow our students to enjoy their games while learning. The ability to understand emotions, to have a diverse emotion vocabulary and to understand the causes and consequences of emotion is particularly relevant in group settings. Individuals who are skilled in this domain are able to express emotions, feelings and moods accurately and thus, may facilitate clear communication between coworkers. Furthermore, they may be more likely to act in ways that accommodate their own needs as well as the needs of others, i.e. cooperate. In a group conflict situation, for example, a member with a strong ability to understand emotion will be able to express how he feels about the problem and why he feels this way. He also should be able to take the perspective of the other group members and understand why they are reacting in a certain manner. Appreciation of differences creates an arena for open communication and promotes constructive conflict resolution and improved group functioning. The arrival of the industrial age changed the relationship among time, labor, and capital. Factories could produce around the clock, and they could do so with greater speed and volume than ever before. A machine that runs 12 hours a day will produce more widgets than one that runs for only 8 hours per day, and a machine that runs 24 hours per day will produce the most widgets of all. As such, at many factories, the workday is divided into 8-hour shifts, so that there will always be people on hand to keep the widget machines humming. Industrialization raised the potential value of every single work hour. The more hours you worked, the more widgets you produced, and the more money you made, and thus wages became tied to effort and production. Labor, previously guided by harvest cycles, became clock-oriented, and society started to reorganize around new principles of productivity. 1. Shift in the work time paradigm brought about by industrialization. 2. Effects of standardizing production procedures on labor markets. 3. Influence of industrialization on the machine-human relationship. 4. Efficient ways to increase the value of time in the industrial age. 5. Problems that excessive work hours have caused for laborers. The selfie resonates not because it is new, but because it expresses, develops, expands, and intensifies the long history of the self-portrait. The self-portrait showed to others the status of the person depicted. In this sense, what we have come to call our own image, the interface of the way we think we look and the way others see us, is the first and fundamental object of global visual culture. The selfie depicts the drama of our own daily performance of ourselves in tension with our inner emotions that may or may not be expressed as we wish. At each stage of the self-portrait's expansion, more and more people have been able to depict themselves. Today's young, urban, networked majority has reworked the history of the self-portrait to make the selfie into the first visual signature of the new era. 1. Are selfies just a temporary trend in art history? 2. Fantasy or reality? Your selfie is not the real you. 3. The selfie, a symbol of self-oriented global culture. 4. The end of self-portraits, how selfies are taking over. 5. Selfies, the latest innovation in representing ourselves. 41 to 42. Imagine grabbing a piece of paper between your thumb and index finger. Maybe you already are, as you turn this page. We use this type of forceful, pad-to-pad precision gripping without thinking about it, and literally in a snap. Yet it was a breakthrough in human evolution. Other primates exhibit some kinds of precision grips in the handling and use of objects, but not with the kind of efficient opposition that our hand anatomy allows. In a single hand, humans can easily hold and manipulate objects, even small and delicate ones, while adjusting our fingers to their shape and reorienting them with displacements of our fingertip pads. Our relatively long, powerful thumb and other anatomical attributes, including our flat nails, which nearly all primates possess, make this possible. Just picture trying and failing to dog-ear this page with pointy, curved claws. With a unique combination of traits, the human hand shaped our history. No question, stone tools couldn't have become a keystone of human technology and subsistence without hands that could do the job, along with a nervous system that could regulate and coordinate the necessary signals. Anybody who's ever attempted to make a spear tip or arrowhead from a rock knows that it excludes strong grips, constant rotation and repositioning, and forceful, careful strikes with another hard object. And even with a fair amount of know-how, it can be a bloody business. 1. Anatomical distance between humans and other primates. 2. Human hands, a decisive leap in the evolutionary path. 3. Our hands, an unexpected outcome of evolution. 4. Human grip, the dilemma of human survival. 5. Hidden power of the daily use of tools. (43 through 45). Part A. Do you remember when Sean used to tell me that I was the best dad in the world? Ethan asked his wife, Grace. Yes, I do. I always envied your relationship with Sean, she replied. Ethan then shared how things had changed since his son started middle school. Grace had noticed Ethan often pushing Sean to study harder. Maybe he isn't that into school right now. How about going hiking, just the two of you, she suggested. He agreed, and realizing that both his and Sean's hiking jackets were still at the laundry, he asked his wife to go and pick them up with him. Part B. Ethan and Grace came back home with the jackets and checked if Sean had everything else he needed for hiking. Luckily, in his drawers they found his hat, shoes, sunglasses, and hiking sticks. When Sean returned from school, Ethan softly said, Sean, let's go hiking this Saturday, just the two of us. Though Sean thanked him for the suggestion, he said he had to go to the library. Grace stepped in. You know, the weather this weekend will be the best of the year. Why not enjoy it? After a moment's hesitation, he agreed. Part C. When did you bring the jackets in? The clerk at the laundry asked. Maybe 2 weeks ago, Ethan replied. Then, Grace quickly reminded him, Honey, we actually left them here a month ago. The clerk went into the storage area to look for the clothes. Finally, he returned with the jackets and handed them to Ethan. The clerk politely said, I am sorry, but please collect your items earlier next time. Our storage is too full. Ethan felt embarrassed for the late collection and apologized. Part D. The weather was perfect. Ethan and Sean set off hiking along the valley by Aiken Mountain. They walked in silence until Sean fell over a rock and twisted his ankle. Realizing he couldn't walk, Ethan carried his son down on his back. He felt Sean's heartbeat, something he hadn't felt since Sean was a baby. Suddenly, Sean said, Dad, I'm sorry. At some point, I started to become afraid of disappointing you. But you are still the best dad. Energized, he felt no weight on his back and replied, You are the best son, no matter what. 21. The position of the architect rose during the Roman Empire, as architecture symbolically became a particularly important political statement. Cicero classed the architect with the physician and the teacher, and Vitruvius spoke of so great a profession as this. Marcus Vitruvius Pollio, a practicing architect during the rule of Augustus Caesar, recognized that architecture requires both practical and theoretical knowledge, and he listed the disciplines he felt the aspiring architect should master: literature and writing, draftsmanship, mathematics, history, philosophy, music, medicine, law, and astronomy, a curriculum that still has much to recommend it. All of this study was necessary, he argued, because architects who have aimed at acquiring manual skill without scholarship have never been able to reach a position of authority to correspond to their plans, while those who have relied only upon theories and scholarship were obviously hunting the shadow, not the substance. 1. Seeking abstract knowledge emphasized by architectural tradition. 2. Discounting the subjects necessary to achieve architectural goals. 3. Pursuing the ideals of architecture without the practical skills. 4. Prioritizing architecture's material aspects over its artistic ones. 5. Following historical precedents without regard to current standards. (29) Think of yourself. When you decide to get up and get a drink of water, for example, you don't consciously organize or consider the host of steps involved. Imagine if we had to consider every single muscle that needed to be contracted or relaxed just to stand up and walk. It would be tiresome and very slow, as patients recovering from a brain injury affecting the motor system knows. The autopilot parts of our brain do it for us automatically, freeing up our conscious mind for more important jobs. It is the older parts of our brain that support these automatic processes that allow us to move, hear, see, and use many of our social skills. More recently evolved abilities like talking, reading, and writing are far less automated. So, most of the time, what you are perceiving, feeling, or thinking is based on a very crude and fast analysis that happens completely without your awareness. Studies in psychology have reported cases in which competitive incentives resulted in lower task effort, and their focus was on the psychological underpinnings of the reduction in motivation. For example, competition presents an inevitable conflict between the motivation to achieve one's personal goal and the desire to maintain good relationships with others. When the maintenance of interpersonal relationships is important, with their counterparts in particular or with others generally, competitors experience an internal conflict that can harm their desire to achieve their goal and taint the good feeling brought about by winning. Exline and Lobel found that the perception of oneself as a target for upward social comparison often makes people uncomfortable. When they believe that others are making envious comparisons with them, people feel uneasiness, distress, or sorrow. Feelings of guilt, an emotion generally associated with high motivation for goal achievement, lead to stronger motivation and performance in the pursuit of competitive goals. Consequences of this emotional state include lower task motivation in a competition and preferences for more cooperative and altruistic outcomes, such as diminishing the significance of the outcome or sharing the winner's reward. (35) The expansion of sports tourism in the 20th century has been influenced by further developments in transportation. Just as the railways revolutionized travel in the 19th century, so the automobile produced even more dramatic changes in the 20th. The significance of the car in the development of sport and tourism generally has attracted considerable coverage, and it has had no less an impact on sports tourism specifically. Although originally invented towards the end of the 19th century, it started to become a mass form of transport in the 1920s in the USA and rather later in Britain. Apart from its convenience and flexibility, the car has the additional advantages of affording access to many areas not served by public transport, as well as allowing the easy transport of luggage and equipment. The expansion of reasonably priced, good quality accommodation associated with tourism growth has also facilitated the growth of locally based restaurants. As a result, it was invaluable for the development of many forms of sports tourism, but especially those which require the transportation of people and equipment to relatively remote locations. People often assume that synthetic food ingredients are more harmful than natural ones, but this is not always the case. Typically, synthetic ingredients can be made in a precisely controlled fashion and have well-defined compositions and properties, allowing careful evaluation of their potential toxicity. On the other hand, natural ingredients often vary appreciably in their composition and properties depending on their origin, the time of year they were harvested, the climate they experienced throughout their lifetime, the soil quality, and how they were isolated and stored. These variations can make testing their safety extremely difficult, or one is never sure about the potential toxicity of minor components that may vary from time to time. In some cases, a natural food component has been consumed for hundreds or thousands of years without causing any obvious health problems and can, therefore, be assumed to be safe. However, one must still be very careful. The of the production process for synthetic food ingredients and the variability of natural food ingredients may be people's commonly held assumption that the natural ingredients are more secure. 1. Controllability. Challenge. 2. Predictability. Support. 3. Manageability. Intensify. 4. Affordability. Reverse. 5. Accessibility. Question. The potential for market enforcement is greater when contracting parties have developed reputational capital that can be devalued when contracts are violated. Similarly, a landowner can undermaintain fences, ditches, and irrigation systems. Accurate assessments of farmer and landowner behavior will be made over time, and those farmers and landowners who attempt to gain at each other's expense will find that others may refuse to deal with them in the future. Over time, landowners indirectly monitor farmers by observing the reported output, the general quality of the soil, and any unusual or extreme behavior. Farmer and landowner reputations act as a bond. In any growing season, a farmer can reduce effort, overuse soil, or underreport the crop. Farmers and landowners develop reputations for honesty, fairness, producing high yields, and consistently demonstrating that they are good at what they do. In small, close-knit farming communities, reputations are well known. 37. Watch the birds in your backyard. If one bird startles and flies off, others will follow, not waiting around to assess whether the threat is real. They have been infected by emotional contagion. Mark wondered whether the birds in line were more fearful because they didn't know what their flockmates were doing. Emotional contagion would have been impossible for individual grosbeaks in the linear array except with their nearest neighbors. In a long-term research project that Mark did with some of his students on patterns of anti-predatory scanning by western evening grosbeaks, they found that birds in a circle showed more coordination in scanning than did birds who were feeding in a line. The birds in a line, who could only see their nearest neighbor, not only were less coordinated when scanning, but also were more nervous, changing their body and head positions significantly more than grosbeaks in a circle, where it was possible for each grosbeak to see every other grosbeak. "38. Without any special legal protection for trade secrets, however, the secretive inventor risks that an employee or contractor will disclose the proprietary information. Trade secret law aims to promote innovation, although it accomplishes this objective in a very different manner than patent protection. Notwithstanding the advantages of obtaining a patent, many innovators prefer to protect their innovation through secrecy. They may believe that the cost and delay of seeking a patent are too great or that secrecy better protects their investment and increases their profit. They might also believe that the invention can best be utilized over a longer period of time than a patent would allow. Once the idea is released, it will be free as the air under the background norms of a free market economy. Such a predicament would lead any inventor seeking to rely upon secrecy to spend an inordinate amount of resources building high and impassable fences around their research facilities and greatly limiting the number of people with access to the proprietary information. "39. In reality, objects do not conform to a linear life cycle model. Instead, they undergo breakdowns, await repairs, are stored away, or find themselves relegated to the basement, only to be rediscovered and repurposed later. By their very nature, the concepts of maintenance and repair are predominantly examined from a process-oriented perspective. The focus in related scholarly discourse often revolves around the lifespan or life cycle of objects and technologies. In this context, maintenance and repair are considered practices that have the potential to prolong the existence of objects, ensuring their sustained utilization over an extended period. Krebs and Weber critically engage with anthropomorphic metaphors that imply a biography of things, appropriately highlighting that conventional understanding of the life cycle of a technology, from its acquisition to its disposal from the household, provides an incomplete definition. Additionally, objects may enter recycling or secondhand cycles, leading to a dynamic afterlife marked by diverse applications. As such, the life of an object exhibits a far more complicated and adaptive path than a simplistic linear progression. Literature can be helpful in the language learning process because of it fosters in readers. Core language teaching materials must concentrate on how a language operates both as a rule-based system and as a socio-semantic system. Very often, the process of learning is essentially analytic, piecemeal, and, at the level of the personality, fairly superficial. Engaging imaginatively with literature enables learners to shift the focus of their attention beyond the more mechanical aspects of the foreign language system. When a novel, play, or short story is explored over a period of time, the result is that the reader begins to inhabit the text. He or she is drawn into the book. Pinpointing what individual words or phrases may mean becomes less important than pursuing the development of the story. The reader is eager to find out what happens as events unfold. He or she feels close to certain characters and shares their emotional responses. The language becomes transparent, the fiction draws the whole person into its own world. 1. Linguistic insight. 2. Artistic imagination. 3. Literary sensibility. 4. Alternative perspective. 5. Personal involvement. Education, at its best, teaches more than just knowledge. It teaches critical thinking, the ability to stop and think before acting, to avoid succumbing to emotional pressures. This is not thought control. It is the very reverse, mental liberation. Even the most advanced intellectual will be imperfect at this skill. But even imperfect possession of it. Of being stimulus-driven, constantly reacting to the immediate environment, the brightest colors or loudest sounds. Being driven by heuristic responses, living by instinct and emotion all the time, is a very easy way to live. In many ways, thought is effortful, especially for the inexperienced. But emotions are also exhausting, and short-term reactions may not, in the long term, be the most beneficial for health and survival. Just as we reach for burgers for the sake of convenience, storing up the arterial fat which may one day kill us, so our reliance on feelings can do us great harm. 1. Intensifies people's danger. 2. Enhances our understanding. 3. Frees a person from the burden. 4. Allows us to accept the inevitability. 5. Requires one to have the experience. 33. We are famously living in the era of the attention economy, where the largest and most profitable businesses in the world are those that consume my attention. The advertising industry is literally dedicated to capturing the conscious hours of my life and selling them to someone else. It might seem magical that so many exciting and useful software systems are available to use for free, but it is now conventional wisdom that if you can't see who is paying for something that appears to be free, then our creative
제3교시 종료 10분 전입니다.
engagement with other people is mediated by AI-based recommendation systems that are designed to trap our attention through the process that Nick Seaver calls captology, keeping us attending to work sold by one company rather than another, replacing the freedom of personal exploration with algorithm-generated playlists or even algorithm-generated art. 1. All of your attention has already been spent. 2. The real product being sold is you. 3. Your privacy is being violated. 4. The public may be sponsoring you. 5. You owe the benefits to your friend AI. (34) Centralized, formal rules can. The rules of baseball don't just regulate the behavior of the players, they determine the behavior that constitutes playing the game. Rules do not prevent people from playing baseball, they create the very practice that allows people to play baseball. A score of music imposes rules, but it also creates a pattern of conduct that enables people to produce music. Legal rules that enable the formation of corporations, that enable the use of wills and trusts, that create negotiable instruments, and that establish the practice of contracting all make practices that create new opportunities for individuals. And we have legal rules that establish roles individuals play within the legal system, such as judges, trustees, partners, and guardians. True, the legal rules that establish these roles constrain the behavior of individuals who occupy them, but rules also create the roles themselves. Without them, an individual would not have the opportunity to occupy the role. 1. Categorize one's patterns of conduct in legal and productive ways. 2. Lead people to reevaluate their roles and practices in a society. 3. Encourage new ways of thinking which promote creative ideas. 4. Reinforce one's behavior within legal and established contexts. 5. Facilitate productive activity by establishing roles and practices.
제3교시 종료령입니다. 수험생은 필기도구를 놓고 답안지는 뒤집어서 오른쪽에, 문제지는 표지를 덮어서 왼쪽에 각각 놓고 조용히 기다리십시오. 제2감독관께서는 문제지와 답안지를 수험 번호 순으로 회수하여 주시고 수량을 확인하여 주십시오.